All right, so I'm starting to see these flying cars all over the place at this point, right? So we have to be, I would guess, past the prototype phase, right? We should be nearing the distribution price tag, knowing how much these are gonna cost, retail value, all that type of stuff like that. At this stage of everything, because I'm seeing the videos everywhere now, right? So this video says that China is releasing a flying car, and the price point could be around $5,000, 4,999, according to this title. But we shall see. So let's get to it and see what's going on.
Well, the car of the future took flight today. The X2 flying car, there it is, took off in an unmanned test flight in Dubai. It's a two-seater, electric, and has vertical takeoff and landing like a chopper.
The future of...
I am not gonna lie, that thing looks pretty sleek, and it doesn't look too heavy, and it looks like it could be safer. You know what I mean? My thought is, if anything goes wrong, getting you back to the ground safely. But that's just based off first look. Let's keep going.
Transportation took a major step forward today as the X2 flying car made its first unmanned test flight in Dubai. This two-seater, fully electric vehicle boasts vertical takeoff and landing capabilities similar to a helicopter. The X2 is being hailed as a key milestone in the evolution of flying cars. Just as people once questioned the Wright brothers' airplane, the idea of flying cars seemed far-fetched. But now, China has unveiled its first flying car, and it could change how we think about travel. China releases first 4,999 flying car that changes everything. This innovative vehicle can both drive on roads and soar through the air, marking a significant leap in the future of transportation.
Wait. Ain't no way we talking about the same thing here. A $5,000 price point for a vehicle that can both fly and drive on the road? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Because if that's the case, you know what I mean? Even though we going through this trade war with tariffs right now, but that price point, if that's true, that's worth it.
Number 4. The Xpeng X2 flying car. The X2 can stay airborne for 25 minutes, reaching speeds of up to 80 miles per hour. But the big question is, how practical is it today? How will it reshape our cities? And what hurdles will it face? In this exploration, we'll look into how the flying car could revolutionize transportation, disrupt the automotive industry, and become a regular part of our daily routines, much like airplanes are now. The Flying Xpeng X2. This prototype is a glimpse into the future of personal flight. After dominating the electric car market, Chinese companies are now leading the charge in electric flying vehicles. China is moving forward into the future of transportation with AeroHT, a company connected to Xpeng, which successfully launched its flying car, the X2, at Beijing Daxing International Airport. This flight, part of the China Langfang International Economic and Trade Fair, demonstrates China's growing focus on the low-altitude economy. We'll delve into the low-altitude economy in more detail shortly, but for now, let's focus on the X2 and why it's making such an impact.
And it looks freaking sick. I mean, look at those headlights, super aggressive.
The Xpeng X2 feels like something out of a sci-fi film, but it's real, and it's ready for the skies. Developed by Xpeng AeroHT, this is the 5th generation of flying cars, and it looks as futuristic as it sounds. With its sleek teardrop shape and fully enclosed cockpit, the X2 is built for superior aerodynamics and excellent in-flight performance. But there's more to it. The X2's carbon fiber body makes it light, enabling it to glide effortlessly through the air. And with zero carbon emissions, it's eco-friendly, offering an environmentally conscious alternative to traditional forms of travel. Imagine making a quick trip across town for an emergency or taking a scenic flight, all without contributing to air pollution. The Xpeng X2 offers 2 driving modes, manual for those who want to control the flight, and autonomous for an easy, hands-off experience with just the push of a button. This high-tech vehicle even impressed officials in Dubai during its first public flight, passing rigorous safety assessments and risk evaluations. This is a major accomplishment, not only for XPeng, but also for China as it enters the race for autonomous, environmentally friendly air travel. Whether you're a tech enthusiast or simply fed up with traffic, the XPeng X2 offers a glimpse into the future of travel. With plans to launch the X2 commercially soon, AeroHT is preparing to begin taking orders by the end of this year. Although the price remains undisclosed, anticipation is building, especially considering that the company has been working on flying cars since 2013.
Yeah, that sounds a bit more right. You know what I mean? Price is undisclosed right now. Because I'm looking at this thing like everything shy of how it lands in the event of an emergency is the only thing I hadn't heard yet. But from the look of it, it looks on point. The technology seems to be there. The fact that you could do manual and autonomous at the same time, to which I know we ain't got the best taste in our mouth with autonomous at the moment, but you have to suspect that it's gonna get better and it's gonna continue to get better with time, right? So yeah. Shy of hearing how we land in the event of emergency, bro. This gonna seem like something that I could rock with for sure.
Setting up research centers across China, and even completing its first public flight in Dubai in 2022. The XPeng X2's debut in Dubai was a historic moment. Now, in the research phase, the company is gradually moving toward the international market. After securing a special flying permit from the Dubai Civil Aviation Authority, DCAA, and completing a comprehensive risk assessment, the X2 took flight for the first time before an audience of over 150 distinguished guests. This included officials from the Chinese consulate, the Dubai International Chamber of Commerce, and other key figures from Dubai's economy and tourism sectors. The event, held at Skydive Dubai with the iconic palm in the background, showcased this groundbreaking vehicle in a stunning setting. Brian Gu, vice chairman and president of XPeng, highlighted the significance of this moment, praising Dubai's reputation as a city of innovation, making it the perfect location for this milestone. The Dubai International Chamber of Commerce has been an essential supporter of the project from the beginning, with acting president Hassan Al-Hashimi emphasizing how the X2 reflects ambition, innovation, and a bold vision for the future of mobility. This flight represents more than just a technological achievement. It marks the start of a new era that will redefine how we view transportation over the next 50 years. As flying cars like the XPeng X2 take to the air, they will play a central role in the rapidly expanding low-altitude economy. The question remains, how practical are these vehicles? Let's dive into that now. Number 3.
I would assume they wouldn't want to make them too affordable, because then you're gonna have congestion in the air. Everybody's gonna want to buy one. So I feel like they're gonna try to keep it to where people can get them, but not everybody can get them in a sense. I don't know, because you ain't gonna want to look up and see traffic in the sky. Like, that's gonna be crazy to look up and see, and then you're gonna be like, well, I don't want to get on one. It's traffic up here, it's traffic down here. It's just, what's the use? What's the use of it? So that has me thinking, like, how are they gonna, or where are they gonna put this thing at, to where is it gonna be affordable, or is it not gonna be affordable for everyone?
The low-altitude economy. In China, the low-altitude economy involves businesses and activities that operate below 3,000 meters, including flying cars, drones for delivery, emergency services, tourism, and commuting. This sector is expanding rapidly with government support and is projected to be worth over 1 trillion yuan, roughly 138 billion USD, by 2026. Already, over 26 provinces in China are planning to integrate these technologies into everyday life. However, challenges such as underdeveloped infrastructure and the lack of standardized regulations are slowing progress. Companies like XPeng, Geely's Aerofugia, and Ahong are working to address these issues, pushing the boundaries of what's possible and positioning China to lead a transportation revolution.
1 kilometer in the air is pretty scary.
If successful, this sector could completely alter how we think about getting from point A to point B, with flying cars becoming an everyday reality. To better understand the practicality of flying cars, it's helpful to look at the rapid development of drone technology. A recent example illustrates just how far this technology has come. A white drone launched from a platform off the coast of Shanghai, carrying a load of fresh seafood. What would have once taken an overnight ferry now takes just 3 hours, thanks to low-altitude drone flights. This breakthrough not only keeps the seafood fresh, but also provides a glimpse into the real-world applications of low-altitude aviation. Drones in China, ranging from personal models to large industrial ones, are driving significant change. They're increasingly handling a variety of tasks, from transporting goods to ferrying passengers, and are helping to develop what's known as the low-altitude economy.
Now, you saw when the girl got in there? That's my next question. What's going to be weight limits for these things? You know, we got to have that conversation, because they say with our country being a quote-unquote obese country, as everybody likes to label it, or we have an obesity problem, what's going to be the weight limit on these things? Got to have that conversation.
For businesses that depend on high-quality products like restaurants, this is a game changer. The drone delivery service mentioned above is just one small piece of a nearly $100 billion industry gaining momentum in China. The central government's backing of the low-altitude economy is paving the way for major advancements in aviation technology, especially for commercial flights operating below 1,000 meters. With traditional industries such as real estate facing struggles, China is betting on this new sector to drive consumer spending. The practicality of flying cars has been a topic of debate for years. However, low-altitude drones and small aircraft are proving their real-world value by solving logistical challenges. These vehicles excel at tasks like reducing the time needed to transport fresh seafood, delivering critical supplies to remote areas, and even transporting medical goods. For example, China's aviation regulators have recently relaxed airspace restrictions, allowing smaller drones to operate more freely below 300 meters. This change has led to a surge in drone use for various tasks, including crop spraying and even wedding photography. The expanding role of drones in everyday tasks like these suggests that low-altitude aviation could indeed be the solution for those questioning the feasibility of flying cars. If drones and smaller aircraft can perform such duties, it's likely that flying cars could eventually revolutionize personal transportation.
All right. We got a good one today.
China's central government is fully invested in developing the low-altitude economy. This sector has grown to 506 billion yuan, marking an impressive growth rate of more than 30%. In 2021, the government recognized this sector as a top priority, and the results are already evident. The number of companies involved in low-altitude aviation has increased by 33% over the last 5 years, with the total revenue in the sector reaching 500 billion yuan, or approximately $70.8 billion, in 2023. By 2030, the sector is expected to expand to a staggering 2 trillion yuan. What drove this remarkable growth? One of the major factors has been the government's decision to ease regulations. As airspace restrictions continue to loosen, businesses are seizing new opportunities, such as offering drone sightseeing tours, helicopter shuttles, and leisure flights for city dwellers looking for a break from urban life. For example, a student named Kui Sitong recently took a flight in the same aircraft model featured in a popular Chinese TV show. She said the experience represented her taking control of her life after a breakup. These personal and cultural experiences illustrate the broader value the low-altitude economy is already providing. The rise of drones and small aircraft is about more than just convenience. It's also about sustainability. In rural areas, domestically produced drones are increasingly being used to spray crops with pesticides, an essential service in places where labor is limited.
So that to me screams that our low altitude, just our airways period, is starting to get pretty crowded. So implementing this is going to make it even more crowded, right? You got drones, you got helicopters doing tours, you got helicopters for medical situations, air evacs that are taking patients from one hospital to the other. You got airplanes, you got, you know what I'm saying? You got all kind of things in the skies already. And the drones, as we saw, like with what happened in the cases with New Jersey, they're starting to be lots and lots of drones in the sky. So now you add this to it, like to me, they're already starting to get crowded. So how is this gonna work?
Some drone pilots are earning over 300,000 yuan per year, showing that this technology is not only boosting efficiency, but also creating new job opportunities. Additionally, China's shift toward electric aviation could allow the country to leap ahead of competitors and take the lead in this emerging field, similar to what it achieved with electric vehicles. The government is actively supporting this transition by developing a domestic supply chain for advanced aviation, covering everything from materials to automated flight software. With relaxed regulations, rising investments, and growing consumer interest, China's low-altitude aviation sector is poised for explosive growth. Whether it's transporting fresh seafood to restaurants, delivering essential medical supplies, or offering scenic tours, drones and small aircraft are proving their value every day. The practicality of low-altitude flights might be the key to settling the debate about flying cars. If these trends continue, it's possible that such innovations will soon be commonplace. As China advances electric flying vehicles and strengthens its supply chain, the low-altitude economy will become an even more significant driver of economic growth. With a projected revenue of 2 trillion yuan by 2030, it's clear that this is an industry just beginning to take off. Time for the fancy topic. In a groundbreaking move, China unveiled its first-ever flying car, priced at an astonishing $4,999, and it changes everything. This innovation, which promises to revolutionize transportation, was revealed at a high-profile ceremony attended by several key officials, including President Xi Jinping. The vehicle, which can take off and land vertically like a drone, is unlike anything seen before in the world of personal transport. The flying car, now officially named SkyDrive X5, has captivated the world with its sleek design and groundbreaking technology. The flying car...
That prototype right there looks like an older prototype. Nothing like any of the ones we've seen so far in the beginning of the video. That one looks like once it lands, it can disconnect from whatever this propeller is at the top of it, take it off, and then just drive off. Like, them other ones look like it's part of the design. This one just looks, like it's an attachment more so.
Designed to be affordable for the average consumer, comes equipped with both traditional wheels and retractable wings, allowing it to transition between ground and air effortlessly. With a top speed of 150 miles per hour and a flight range of 200 miles on a single charge, it is poised to change the way people think about travel. What makes this vehicle even more remarkable is its cost, just $4,999, making it a potential game changer in the market. Experts suggest that with this price tag, flying cars could soon be accessible to more than just the wealthy elite. It is expected to reduce traffic congestion, make long commutes faster, and offer a new level of convenience for city dwellers. While some are skeptical about the practicalities of mass production, the flying car has already generated immense excitement and anticipation. Could this vehicle pave the way for a new era of personal aviation? Will this new technology truly reshape the future of transportation? What will it take for flying cars to become mainstream? Could cities adjust to this new form of transportation without major disruptions? Let us know in the comments with the hashtag #FancyTopic. Number 2. The future of flying cars. Chinese companies are quickly advancing the development of electric vertical takeoff and landing eVTOL aircraft, often referred to as flying cars, which could revolutionize both passenger and cargo transport. These vehicles offer a more sustainable, cost-effective, and quieter alternative to traditional helicopters. The market for eVTOLs in China is expanding rapidly as the country focuses on nurturing its low-altitude economy. Because they have a smaller environmental footprint and lower operating costs, eVTOLs are set to become as common in daily transportation as conventional cars. Thanks to China's dominance in drone and battery technology, eVTOLs resemble large drones with cockpits, allowing them to efficiently cover short distances. The difference between helicopters and eVTOLs is similar to that between gasoline-powered cars and electric vehicles, explains Yue Tingting, Vice President of Vertaxi, a leading Chinese eVTOL startup. This technological leap brings a wide range of new possibilities, surpassing the capabilities of traditional helicopters. eVTOLs are positioned to create a whole new transportation model, shifting the way people and goods move in the future. According to China Post Securities, these aircraft could offer 60% energy savings, reduce emissions by 90%, and generate 65% less noise compared to conventional fuel-powered helicopters. This makes them not only eco-friendly but also well-suited for urban environments, where noise and environmental issues are growing concerns. The tech-rich province of Guangdong, particularly Shenzhen, home to drone giant DJI, is leading the charge in this eVTOL revolution. Local governments are supporting the development of eVTOL technology through initiatives and test flights, making sure the infrastructure is ready for widespread adoption. This focus on reducing environmental impact while encouraging innovation demonstrates how eVTOLs could transform modern cities into cleaner, quieter places. One of the most exciting developments in the eVTOL field is Autoflight's Prosperity, which recently completed a cross-sea flight between Shenzhen and Zhuhai in just 20 minutes.
All I know is y'all better hire some more firefighters. Because I don't know why I just have the vision and seeing people like fly these things in the trees, getting stuck, needing people to, the fire truck to come out with the ladder to get up there to get them. Like, y'all gonna have to hire and pay more firefighters once this happens, or rescue teams, or create a whole different type of emergency response division that, yeah. This is gonna definitely create jobs and opportunity for sure. I can already see it.
Recently completed a cross-sea flight between Shenzhen and Zhuhai in just 20 minutes, a journey that would typically take 2 hours by car. With ticket prices around 300 yuan, much cheaper than traditional urban helicopter flights, this achievement highlights the potential for eVTOLs to become an affordable and accessible option for short-distance travel. Operating costs for eVTOLs are only 15% of what it costs to run helicopters, meaning they could eventually offer air transportation at prices comparable to today's ride-hailing services. This opens up the possibility of air taxis becoming as commonplace as calling an Uber, offering quicker, more efficient commutes and reducing dependence on congested roadways. EHang, a major player in the eVTOL space, made a significant breakthrough when it became the first company to receive an airworthiness certificate from China's aviation regulator for its two-passenger eVTOL. This certification marks a pivotal moment, confirming the safety and technical capabilities of EHang's aircraft. EHang, a global leader in urban air mobility technology, recently announced a successful pilotless flight of its eVTOL, paving the way for commercial operations. With over 1,200 pre-orders from international markets, EHang expects on-demand air taxis to become a common mode of transport within the next 5 years. The increasing demand for eVTOLs underscores their potential to transform urban mobility, offering a faster, quieter, and more environmentally friendly alternative to traditional ground transport. Despite this progress, challenges remain, particularly in battery technology and safety. Current eVTOL batteries need higher energy density to support longer, more complex flights, limiting the operational range of the aircraft. Additionally, safety concerns require extensive testing and development before eVTOLs can be rolled out on a large scale. Regulatory authorities are taking a cautious approach, with projections suggesting that the widespread commercial use of eVTOLs may not be realized until 2035. This timeline is intended to give enough room for technological advancements and the establishment of robust safety protocols, ensuring that the transition to autonomous electric flying vehicles is both secure and sustainable. Investors are showing strong faith in the eVTOL market, with more than 85% of China's investments in low-altitude aviation being directed towards these vehicles. The sector is seeing significant venture capital influx, with companies like Aerofugia and Volant Aerotech attracting substantial investments. Even major electric vehicle manufacturers in China are entering the race. Xpeng Aeroti, a subsidiary of Xpeng Motors, plans to begin mass production of eVTOLs by 2026 with a target price around 2 million yuan. To address the safety concerns surrounding eVTOLs, China's aviation authorities have outlined a careful, step-by-step development plan. This strategy starts with cargo flights in less populated suburban areas, allowing companies to build up flight hours and data before advancing to passenger transportation. By initiating operations in lower-risk environments, eVTOL companies can establish trust and reliability, gradually progressing to more complex urban operations. For example, Autoflight's Prosperity eVTOL completed a successful 70-kilometer cross-sea flight between Shenzhen and Zhuhai, showcasing the viability of cargo transport over longer distances. In a landmark achievement for the aviation industry, Autoflight recently completed a successful unmanned flight between two cities across bodies of water.
Now with you going over sea like that, I got a few more safety concerns now. Like when we land, is this thing gonna float? Like what's happening here, dude? Does something pop out like a tube to keep us floating until rescue arrives and stuff like that? Yeah. Now, like y'all wanting to go overseas and do different things. Now y'all finna be trying to go over countries. There's no way battery life is gonna be able to take you too far right now. Battery is gonna be the issue I see with this thing probably out the gate, knowing how far you can go, on a battery, because a lot of this stuff is going to be battery powered. So understanding that it's going to be just like the Tesla situations and the EV stations and stuff like that. So now you're going to have that. Like, it's going to create jobs and opportunities, but it's going to be a lot of problems. So I don't think now that I'm hearing all this that we're as close to seeing, or we still may be in the prototype phase and before we're even near distribution. Yeah. I don't think, now that hearing that, I don't think we're near distribution.
In southern China's Guangdong province, this methodical approach is crucial in ensuring that eVTOL technology is seen as safe and dependable before it enters high-density city environments for passenger use. Alongside this phase strategy, consumer adoption remains a significant challenge for eVTOL companies. While venture capital funding is flowing in, the market's long-term success will depend on building consumer interest and trust. Content creators, such as Jalele, play an important role in demystifying eVTOL technology and making the idea of personal flight more accessible to the public. By sharing his own experiences with eVTOL aircraft on social media, Z helps bridge the knowledge gap and generates excitement about the potential of this new mode of transport. His work, along with the efforts of other eVTOL advocates, is essential in transforming flying cars from a futuristic vision into a practical option for daily commuters. As the technology matures and safety records are established, public enthusiasm will be key to the long-term viability of the market. But there are ongoing discussions about whether China is truly innovative or simply borrowing ideas from others. The answers might surprise you. Number 1. True innovation or borrowed ideas. When the technology behind a revolutionary flying car, originally developed in Europe, was sold to a Chinese company, it highlighted an important point. The technology for a convertible flying car, first developed and successfully tested in Europe, was acquired by a Chinese firm. This shows that China is not just waiting to catch up in the flying car race, it's actively shaping the future of personal air transport. However, this development has raised questions about whether China is genuinely innovative or merely adopting existing technologies. Hebei Jiangxin Flying Car Technology Company, a Chinese firm located in Changzhou, recently secured exclusive rights to manufacture and use the Air Car, an innovative vehicle that transforms from a car to an aircraft in just over 2 minutes. Originally powered by a BMW engine and designed to run on standard fuel, the Air Car completed a...
Could you imagine sitting in traffic, bro? Sitting in traffic, you're like, man, I'm not finna deal with this. You hit a button and in 2 minutes, you're airborne. You're airborne. Out of here. Gone. Going home. I'm not dealing with this. Y'all stay down there. You're looking down at people, peasants, making different comments and remarks and stuff like that. But it's just like, bro, we're that close to that. To that. In low altitude, for us people that don't want to be high in the sky, myself, low altitude, they speaking my language.
Successful 35-minute flight between 2 Slovakian airports in 2021, marking a major breakthrough in flying car technology. This acquisition is just one example of a broader trend. China is quickly emerging as a leader in the flying car industry, with companies like Autoflight and EHang making significant strides. Autoflight recently tested a passenger-carrying drone that successfully flew between Shenzhen and Zhuhai, a journey that typically takes 3 hours by car. The drone completed the trip in just 20 minutes, although it did not carry passengers. Meanwhile, EHang, a leader in electric vertical takeoff and landing eVTOL technology, received a safety certificate from China's aviation regulators for its flying taxis, which are expected to become a regular mode of transport within the next decade. These advancements underscore the scope of China's ambitions and the diverse approaches its companies are taking to shape the future of aviation. What sets China's flying car strategy apart is its all-encompassing approach. The country's aviation authorities have embraced a phased, safety-focused strategy that prioritizes cargo flights in less crowded areas before introducing passenger services in urban centers. This gradual approach allows companies to build a solid safety track record. Furthermore, local governments are offering strong support for test flights and technological development, particularly in areas like Guangdong, home to drone giant DJI. Shenzhen, often referred to as the drone capital of the world, is at the center of many of these groundbreaking developments. This strategic approach is complemented by a strong emphasis on making air travel cost-effective. Take, for example, Autoflight's eVTOL, which offers short-distance flights at prices similar to those of ride-hailing services, making flying more accessible to the general public. With operating costs just 15% of those associated with helicopters, eVTOLs have the potential to become a mainstream transportation option. They could provide affordable, efficient travel that avoids the traffic congestion commonly found on traditional roadways. This emphasis on cost and accessibility could be the key factor in making flying cars a regular part of our daily lives, similar to the way electric vehicles, EVs, became more commonplace over the last decade. While China's strides in flying car technology are certainly noteworthy, the fact that some of this innovation, such as the air car, originally comes from Europe prompts an interesting question. Is China merely buying its way to the top, or is it truly creating something new? The acquisition of the air car's manufacturing rights by Hebei Jiangshan means this vehicle will now be produced and operated in a specific region of China. Although the Slovakian-developed air car requires a runway to take off and land, unlike eVTOLs that can take off vertically.
That's impractical. Nobody, well, I ain't gonna say nobody, the rich will, but most of us don't have runways at our house, right? We got driveways, you know what I mean? You cut it to the length of a driveway, and our driveways ain't that long, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Unless you don't mind us riding down the road and taking lift off. I don't know how the police gonna feel about that, but
it still reflects China's broader ambition to integrate various flying technologies into its transportation infrastructure.
It's so beautiful.
EHang, a rising player in the eVTOL market, has entered into a memorandum of understanding with Zishan Tourism to help develop the low-altitude ecosystem in China. Aviation consultant Steve Wright pointed out that China's rapid adoption of the air car could allow it to bypass some of the regulatory and infrastructure hurdles that have hindered flying car development in Western countries. Wright explains that in the West, long-established aviation regulations often struggle to accommodate new technologies, which can slow progress. By contrast, China, with fewer regulatory legacies to navigate, has the flexibility to adapt its regulations more swiftly, potentially giving it a competitive edge in the flying car race. This leads us to a larger question. Can China replicate the success it achieved with electric vehicles, where it now leads the global market, in the flying car industry? While the purchase of foreign technology like the air car is a significant move, it doesn't diminish China's role in fostering an innovative environment in the flying car sector.
Them not having many regulations and being able to bypass and be quicker to getting this accomplished doesn't make me feel good at all. It actually kind of scares me. You know, I want this process to take long. I want them to be thorough. I want them to be right whenever it hits the market and be tested upon tested. I don't want them to speed through this process. We already see where that gets you. Planes falling out the sky and on fire.
The country's leadership in drone technology and battery production lays a strong foundation for the development of electric-powered flying vehicles. Moreover, its methodical, safety-first approach could position China to lead the global flying car market, just as it did with electric cars. Ultimately, whether the technology is homegrown or acquired, China's ability to integrate and scale flying car solutions has the potential to transform urban mobility in ways that few other nations are ready to match. As flying car technology continues to evolve, one thing is clear. China is not just a player in this revolution, it is actively shaping the future of personal air travel. Whether through its own innovations or by acquiring technologies like the air car, China is rapidly moving toward making flying cars a reality, transitioning them from a fantasy to something we may soon see in everyday life. Despite this rapid progress, there are still significant challenges to overcome, including issues related to infrastructure, regulation, and public acceptance. However, China's success with electric vehicles shows that once the country commits to dominating a market, it's likely to succeed. The innovation in flying cars won't be contained within China's borders. Just as Chinese technologies in fields like electric vehicles and 5G have spread worldwide, partnerships between Chinese firms and global companies will likely accelerate the adoption of eVTOLs and flying cars internationally. As Chinese companies develop more affordable and efficient flying vehicles, other countries may begin to incorporate these advancements into their urban transportation systems, fundamentally changing how people and goods move across the globe. With these advances, do you think the world is still far from realizing the futuristic visions seen in movies and books?